Austin's most dreaded allergy season isn't spring, it's actually winter. And cedar pollen levels are so high tonight in some spots, you can actually see a haze in the air.
KVUE's Daniel Gomez breaks down what's behind the surge and how to tell cedar fever from the flu.
Something's in the air.
I'm suffering pretty bad. I feel like I'm sneezing, I have a runny nose, it's been really hard.
But it sure isn't spring.
It wasn't so bad until like the third or fourth year that I was living here, and then it just became unbearable.
Cedar pollen is back once again.
The peak of the cedar season normally runs from the tail end of December into January.
KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams says conditions for cedar to spread are usually favorable this time of year. The pollen comes from mountain cedar trees, also known as juniper trees.
There's always a couple days like this where you get all the conditions sync up. You've got dry, breezy weather, and you get a big cedar spike. And this, by the way, is probably not going to be the only day like this that we have through the peak of the cedar season.
At the same time, the U.S. is dealing with a surge of the flu. The CDC reports what it says are very high levels of respiratory illness, Travis County included, with the flu in particular on the rise.
I heard about the super flu. I haven't gotten that. I don't know anyone who's gotten it.
There are some key differences, though, between that and what's known as cedar fever.
Sometime in the last few years, though, I know that I've had just constant itching and the eyes itching really badly, and it will go on for a few days.
Mostly congestion, I think, is probably definitely an issue because it's like sometimes it gets to the point where it's hard for me to hear.
While it is called cedar fever, the most common symptoms include sneezing and itchy eyes, not a fever. Austin Regional Clinic says a fever is what usually indicates the flu. That, along with intense aches and fatigue.
Those two can definitely be intertwined and definitely difficult to diagnose or self-diagnose. So, but no, I have had the flu, and it is vastly different from cedar fever.
For now, some Austinites are keeping the proper meds handy. Daniel Gomez, KVUE News.
The CDC says in Travis County, COVID-19 and RSV are making the rounds, just not at the higher rates like the flu, which has been sending people to the emergency room for additional medical care.